La Francophonie Day, as this ceremony was presided over by the Secretary General at the Northwest Governor's Office, Sadinu Ali. And the 25th edition of the World Poetry Day has been witnessed in the country today and other parts of the world, with the call on standing on the shoulders of giants. Those were our major stories. Good evening to you all. You are welcome to High Prime of Thursday, the 21st of March 2024. For presentation, I am attending Larry Kevin Tabot. We start off with one of our lead stories. As we did mention earlier, Cameroon has joined the rest of the world to commemorate World Forest Day today, the 21st day of March 2024. Activities to create awareness and measures to protect the measures to protect the forest are ongoing across the nation. In the upcoming paper done by Alice Lekoliengu Ekomi, who outlined on some of the benefits of forestry to the entire humanity.
Forests play a critical role for the global environment, population and economy. Forests can mitigate climate change by capturing and storing carbon. It removes significant volume of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. March 21st has been established as the International Forest Day. On this day each year, various events are organized to celebrate and raise awareness on the importance of all types of forests and trees outside forests. This is for the benefit of the current and future generation. Events encouraged to take place on this day involves tree planting campaign. This year's celebration is done under the theme Celebrating Forests and Innovation for Sustainable Future for our planet and its inhabitants. It is an opportunity to recognize the importance of trees and forests and all that they do for mankind. Take action to protect them. From cleaning the air we breathe to filtering the water we drink, shades and sheltering people from harmful ultraviolet rays and reducing the urban heat island effect. It is therefore important for all to strive to restore the forest and protect the environment. When you think of all the food you can eat, home sweet home for some animals, natural air conditioner, means to improve mental health, combating climate change, and what makes life more comfortable, the forest is what comes to your mind.
The World Forestry Day 2024 calls for more creative solutions towards forest preservation, with the theme Forest and the enumeration of new solutions for better world. In this regards, the Southwest Regional Delegate of Forestry and Wildlife, Delphine Tambi Ikome, takes through the innovation of measures implemented in the Southwest region towards the conservation of forests and the forestry wildlife, as we take a listen to her by this interview done by Jabi Kitty.
Today we are commemorating the celebration of the International Day of the Forest under the theme Forest and Innovation. Looking at the theme, it shows that there are supposed to be innovations that we have to put in place to ensure the sustainable management of our forests. So at the level of the Southwest region, the innovation that we are putting in place is basically the involvement of all the relevant stakeholders involved in the management of the forest. We know the importance of forests and it concerns everybody. Where there's no forest, there's no life. So we have to bring on board all those who are concerned. We have the school children, we have the traditional authorities, we have even the administration that is also involved in the management of our forests. In the Southwest region also, we are very much involved in carrying out reforestation activities, whereby we plant trees in identified areas, especially areas that are prone to erosion, very high risk area along river banks. We plant in forest reserves, we plant in community forests. We are also doing a tracking system whereby all the timbers that are being cut can be traced from their origin and even to their final destination. We can identify them because they have been tagged, they have been given GPS coordinates, and we can really track them as they move from one point to another. Other innovations is the constant patrol. We have checkpoints. that have been created by the Ministry of Forestry and Wildlife in about 3 points here in the southwest. We have a tracking checkpoint in Mabanda in Kumba. We have another one in around Ekok in Manfe. We have another tracking checkpoint post for tracking and Mongo. So these are some of the innovations that the ministry has put in place to ensure the sustainable management of our forests.
We remain with the forest. This time around, forests and trees provide shelter and food for several individuals in Cameroon and around the world. But illegal logging and deforestation is fast becoming a bigger problem to the entire humanity to solve. As such, this has resulted to a lot of heat wave across the nation, Cameroon, and other parts of the world. As Boris Esono tells us more.
Cameroon's forests are the second largest in Africa at more than 23 million hectares. Forest has a major role to play in the country's economic development as well as fight against climate change. However, in recent years, the situation of the forest is a bleak one. There has been a surge in deforestation and forest degradation. Between 2001 and 2015, forest loss in Cameroon stood at 777,000 hectares according to the Global Forest Watch. The International Day of Forests, which comes up on March 21, is therefore of significance as it spotlights the fight against deforestation. This year, the theme for the Forest Day is Forests and Innovation, New Solutions for a Better World.
We are talking to them nature-based solutions to climate change, and we're all thinking about forests, planting trees, rejuvenating the environment, ecosystem restoration, natural restoration. So all of these are all revolving around forest. That's what United Nations think. And people know that protecting forests makes more sense than cutting down the trees.
The battle against deforestation requires new technological advancement, with 10 million hectares lost annually due to deforestation and approximately 70 million hectares affected by fires.
The role of elders in this fight is multiple. The first, we are supporting government. We launched since 2005 a long-term project of restoration of Mount Bomotus. I know Mount Bomotus is the second largest water tower in Cameroon after the other water plateau. And we have been working on this landscape since 2005, and in 2018 we launched the first 15 years of long-term restoration to plant 20 million trees across Mount Bomotus. We have supported across the entire chain of Western Highlands of Cameroon, from northwest, western, and southwest.
Government says it is tackling deforestation on two fronts, reinforcing forest management to protect existing forests and moving to restore those laws. But environmentalists say more efforts are needed.
Policymakers along the entire chain, from local people right up to the top level, should begin to reconcile a new way of living that they have to integrate into their daily lives. Trees. Without trees, we are called to die.
According to experts, indigenous forests have the potential to store more carbon, harbor greater biodiversity, and regulate climate better than reforested areas. It is thus important for everyone to get on board in protecting the forest for future generations.
On to health now. The first round of the poliomyelitis vaccination campaign has rounded up in the southwest region with a recorded 94% coverage by the health workers. These, according to the Southwest EPI coordinator, Dr. Oben Pamela, who says efforts are underway in order to make sure bigger coverage all across the region will be recorded during the second round of vaccination campaign against poliomyelitis in the region. Courtesy with you, Boris Esono.
The first round of the National Immunization Days against polio targeted children 0 to 5 years. Across the Southwest region, children were given the oral polio vaccine to strengthen their immunity against the disability-causing polio virus. The Southwest coordinator of the expanded program on immunization says the overall coverage of the first round was a successful one with its 94% coverage.
We had a target of 95%. Although we performed slightly below this this target we concluded with an overall coverage of 94%, although a little below the target. I think that it was really a great effort, taking into consideration that the Southwest region is one of the security compromised regions of the country, and also because we have a lot of hard to reach areas which need particular strategies to be able to reach the target population.
The campaign was necessitated following the detection of the rare wild polio virus type 2. Various strategies were used for the campaign.
We used a multiple of strategies, the most important strategy being the door-to-door strategy, where the vaccination teams, including social mobilizers, vaccinators, and recorders went door to door, and they were able to meet parents, take their opinion, and vaccinate their children by administering 2 drops of the oral polio vaccine. The second most important strategy was a school strategy, and in the region, some districts even started on Thursday to enable them vaccinate children in schools on Thursday.
Polio is a highly infectious disease caused by the polio virus. It mainly affects children under the age of 5, invading the nervous system and can cause paralysis or even death.
Although some of these refusals were managed, we still had some cases that were resistant to the end. We might also have had a few challenges, as some areas might not have been properly covered. So during this evaluation meeting we are holding today, it's an opportunity for the chiefs of health districts to tell us their challenges, and together we'll be able to discuss feasible strategies that can be carried out to ensure that children who were missed during this first round will be properly covered during the second round of the activity, and if possible surpass the performance that we recorded during this first round.
It is important to note that the vaccine is free and represents the most effective way to prevent polio. The second round of vaccination is expected in the month of May.
We move on to the Northwest region, where the Northwest population has joined La Francophonie grouping of countries to celebrate the 2024 International La Francophonie Day. This day that took place on the theme Create, Innovate, Undertake in French. During these activities that was commemorated at the Alliance Franco-Cameronaise over there in Bamenda, that was presided over by the Secretary General of the Northwest Governor's Office, Sadinu Ali, who called on the Northwest population to embrace French language and the cultures of La Francophonie as a way out. More with our reporter on that story. The World La Francophonie Day is being celebrated in Bamenda as the different regional officials and stakeholders involved in La Francophonie in the Northwest region are present for the ceremony.
To the youth, especially the youth of English expression, I would advise them to learn French, because French is very important. It is one of the most important languages of the world. Whatever you want to do, you must communicate, and we should also know that there is no way we can do now without multilingualism and multiculturalism. So knowing as many languages as possible is an asset for all the youth.
The day being celebrated on the theme Create, Innovate, Undertake in French, something that the director of La Alliance Franco-Cameronaise of Bamenda reiterates on the center's prowess of French perfection to all.
Whether you are francophone and you need to ameliorate, whether you are anglophone and you need to study French from basics, or anyway, when you come here for French classes, we start first with what we call the positioning text to know your level of French first. From there now we accompany you to where you can go. So our aim here is to teach the French, to offer also books. We have a library here for those who want to read, even though we also have some books here in English. We are in the Northwest region, and the majority here, they speak English. So we also have books in English here. So I would like to say Alliance Française of Bamenda is very pleased to organize the Francophonie today in partnership with the region. And it's a ceremony done everywhere in Cameroon. As the governor said, even though the day is ending today, we are having activities to continue, like the Petit Génie de la Francophonie. The finals are next week on Tuesday. The winner of this region is going to represent the Northwest in Yaoundé from the 11th to the 14th or 15th of April.
Graced by the presence of the Secretary General of the Northwest Governor's Office, Saaduna Ali, who represented the governor, outlined on some key major contributions done by La Francophonie to the Cameroonian economy.
The Francophonie in Cameroon includes the production and dissemination of innovations for ecological production and equipment and emission for the promotion and local materials in Pomado, to support innovation in alternative building materials and reducing the cost of building materials. The promoting the French language, multilingualism and cultural diversity. The promotion.
To crown the day, different prizes were awarded to the different participants who competed in several disciplines in order for the promotion of the French language and La Francophonie organization to be taken to a higher height. You are watching High Prime, and we are coming to you live from a news studio here in High Television. On to other news now. The 25th edition of the World Poetry Day has been celebrated in Cameroon and other parts of the world. This year's theme is Standing on the Shoulders of Giants. This year's theme focuses on the acknowledging of the past, the presence of the giants that many poets pick inspiration from in order for them to portray to humanity the beautiful nature of poetry. More with our reporter on that story, Rita Mafani Mujoku.
Celebrated every year on the 21st of March, World Poetry Day is commemorated this year under the theme Standing on the Shoulders of Giants. Poetry being therapeutic and contributing to nation building and development in diverse forms, it is devoted to supporting linguistic diversity using poetic expressions. This year's theme is centered on past and present giants.
The theme of this year is Standing on the Shoulder of Great Giants. A lot of people might not be able to break down the meaning of this as it means, but this means that they are great poets who have laid a foundation for us, the new poets, to be able to express ourselves. They have brought out very great themes and we are just exploring them. They have written amazing works, they have challenged us, and now we have to build ourselves to step up the game. So we have amazing writers like Shakespeare. Everybody knows Shakespeare's work. Yeah, they are good in every aspect. We have Maya Angelou, she's a soulful writer. We have a lot of great people, and I think they have done wonderful works that we cannot contest.
The purpose of such a day lies on nurturing emerging talents in the realm of poetry. As such, there is a call for action urging everyone to support and encourage young poets as they embark on this journey of exposing certain societal ills and debunking stereotypes through their style of writing.
Why not something so important as poetry? Poetry is like therapy. It heals the soul. If a layman listens to poetry that is targeted at, especially towards his problem, trust me, his day will be better. Poetry is literary, so it's a way of building ourselves intellectually, emotionally, psychologically. In fact, poetry is therapeutic, which is why should we not celebrate something like that? It's really important in every aspect that academics can be important too.
Founded 1999 by UNESCO, this day aims at promoting poetry as a way to communicate across borders and cultural differences. As we celebrate, it is worth noting that poetry converges with other forms of arts such as theater, painting, dancing, singing, and many more, which all contribute in passing across many untold stories.
We cross over to our socio-cultural page on this newscast for tonight. The Sumendian women from Kupe Maniguba division of the Southwest region has just wrapped up their 2024 annual General Assembly meeting in the town of Boya. The meeting that brought together the different chapters of the Sumendian women from the Bakosi area of Kupe Maniguba division was one that seeks to address some of the plights of the women and girls in that part of the Southwest region. Key amongst which was the ongoing construction of the Women Empowerment Center, an engagement taken by the said Sumendian women, as our reporter tells us more. Being the oldest women association from Kupe Maniguba division of the Southwest region, Sumendian has been impacting and changing the lives of women and the girl child in the entire community since 1985.
We started in 1985 and the objective was to bring women together to ensure unity and peace, and especially to empower the girl child. The girl child is so dear to us, to our hearts, and we trust the girl child because most of the times we think that they have been marginalized. You know very well that in some countries women don't have equal salaries with the men. The assistant jobs that are good for men, but the community thinks that women will not be good enough for them. So we are here to take women out of the shelters, I say that, when most people don't see them, because God created them that way, they are female, so they have their places maybe in the kitchen and they shouldn't be noticed. So we are here to bring the women out, empower them, train them, let them have the skills.
The association's General Assembly meeting is unfolding in Boya with the different chapters present for the way forward for the Sumendian women and the girl child to acquire the necessary skill in order for the advancement of the community.
So we know that after all of this, everything is going to fall in place. Training will be there, technology will improve, and the young people will look for their own jobs. You know how it is said, it is not good to give somebody fish. Teach people how to catch fish. When you do that, you see that it will be a better community. They will have their own things.
One of the daring engagement of Sumendian is the ongoing construction of the Women Empowerment Center in Kupe Maniguba division that will be curbing on rural exodus.
That's why we are very concerned with building an empowerment center. This empowerment center, which has taken off, started it. We have done the foundation, and when you do the foundation, you've completed the structure. So we've done the foundation, and we think that when we have this empowerment center, it will help a lot to even curb plan migration. Young people will want to stay in the rural areas. They won't find any need to come out or to come to the urban areas because the facilities they have.
The AGM was a platform for the different women to showcase their different produce and talent in an exhibition fair that just ended in the town of Boya. On to our sports dossier for tonight. The first game on to the Southwest Regional League. The first game between Boya United and Prisons did not hold because of license issue. The second game was between the Tico United and Ates FC, the game that saw the latter carrying the day as they won their opponent in a 1-0 victory in a match that was closely watched by one of our reporters in this report.
The first game between Boya United and Prisons FC did not hold because of license issue. It should be reiterated that Boya United only received her licenses through the phone after 3 hours to the time that the game was supposed to start. In request, The men in black who were supposed to officiate the game demanded the game should be played, but Prisons FC refused because she had not yet received her own licenses. As of now, the decision to this particular game has not yet been published by the Fecafoot Bureau. The second game of the day was between Tico United and Ates FA. This was the ambience staged by the supporters of Tico United at the Muliko Omi Sports Stadium yesterday, March 20, 2024, during their 1-0 win over Ates FA. Kamara Lamin scored the lone goal of the day, putting the Samba Boys of Tico United ahead of the game.
Don't you think your players were not confident during the first segment of the game?
Only the fact that we had the issue of licenses, none of them we believe who would start the game, and so we had difficulties. We had to bring them back to the game at the last moment. So all of such situation, I want to say, the game when they are difficult.
Ates, who dominated the game, failed to maximize her opportunities, maintaining the scoreline.
Well, first of all, we said bad day. It was a good game because we saw it's the first day of play and you see the intensity of game, technically, tactically, all the teams were well placed, and I think it's our finishing that was a problem today. And I think in the subsequent training sessions we're going to work it. We are playing with young players who are still learning, and I think that with time they're going to do all these things so that in the subsequent matches we give better results. Like we all saw the game, our finishing level, the young guys are still small and young at the attack line, and I think that we need to work better at the attack so to be able to score goals. I think in the subsequent training sessions we are going to emphasize on that to be able to score goals, because if you don't score goals, you
should be reminded that just like the first game in Boya between Boya United and Prisons that did not hold because of license issue, it was the same case in Kumba and Limbe.
With that sports story from the Southwest Regional League, this is where we draw the curtains of High Prime for tonight. High Prime of Thursday, the 21st day of March 2024. Thanks for watching and good night from our new studios.